Mornings with Jaresha is a radio show and podcast here to equip, empower, and elevate you to the next level by helping you win your mornings and win your day with inspiration and motivation so you can wake, slay, pray, and take action. Today is a fabulous day to be great, have great, and do great. You just have to be willing to unleash your greatness and take action. This show is for everyone from all walks of life who just simply want to feel empowered and motivated to take the next step. Now, let's get it. Let's go. Mornings with Jaresha begins now.
Welcome back to another episode of Mornings with Jaresha. Someone had said the other day that I was talking to, they made a comment and they said, life just be out here lifing. And I was like, can we touch and agree on that thing? Life is just out here lifing. And so what that means, if you don't know, I feel like we do, I feel like it's one of those things that we all really know is that things, obstacles, those challenges, like life is just going to be happening. And it's all about how we respond, how we react to the things that's happening around us, to us, and all of that. And so on the Mornings with Jaresha show, we talk about how important it is to wake, to pray, to slay, and take action because it's so important, right? So it's so important. It's not only where we're gonna, talk about it, but we need to all be about it as well. And so I hope that as you are tuning in to not just this show, but other episodes that you really feel empowered because that is what I'm here for. I am here to really help empower you so that you feel equipped, so that you can elevate to that next level, and so that you really truly feel empowered. And so on those lines, I am going to jump right into the breakfast breakdown. Now, I have been really thinking about a jingle to go with this breakfast breakdown. For those of you that out there know that I sing, love to sing, but I'm like working on this whole jingle because I feel like it's the right thing to do. And maybe that's just me, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. I feel like there should be a whole jingle with the breakfast breakdown. So I'm loving this breakfast breakdown thing. And you probably can tell, you probably, can hear it in my voice that it makes me happy. And so for today's breakfast breakdown, do you have your own breakfast breakdown? First, let me just say that. Do you have your own breakfast breakdown where you're looking at what you're learning, what you're loving, and what's making you feel empowered? And let me tell you about my breakfast breakdown today. So, my breakfast breakdown, as far as the learning part of it, I am learning. I am learning how to say yes to me and my wellness and to my health. So let me explain what this really means for my life as life is out here lifing, right? So I have always said that I've been on this journey. You know better, you do better. You know better, you do better. You know better, you do better. However, along that know better, do better journey, sometimes we just, we really fall off. And I can, be the first to admit that I have fell off more times than I'm really wanting to say, but I have fell off several times. However, I have, even though I fell off, I've always said, you know what, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to try this thing again. And so when I say try this thing again, I'm going to try that diet again. I'm going to try this workout. I'm going to try this app. I'm going to try this tool. You know how we do. I know I'm not out here by myself, but so I have been on this journey of know better, do better. And so I'm really realizing as I am really learning more about myself as I'm continuing to grow, that growing and, really leveling up and stepping into, my greatness It's not just about, business. It's not just about success. It's not just about walking in purpose. It is about making sure I'm good, making sure my health is good, making sure my wellness is good. And I feel like we know that in the back of our minds, but when it comes down to the behavior, the actions that we're doing, somehow along the lines, it kind of get lost in the sauce. And so I am woman enough to admit that I have gotten lost in the sauce. I have gotten so lost in the sauce to the point where I am now really, and I say really like that because when I say I'm really, really, like I'm serious this time, I'm very serious about making sure I'm saying yes to my health. So even with the pain and the discomfort and not feeling like I want to get up and exercise, not feeling like I want to drink that, that those cups of water, those bottles of water, not feeling like, it's understanding why it's important for me to do that. So I am learning to say yes to me. And that can mean so many different things. But for the sake of this breakfast breakdown, that is all about my health and wellness, saying yes to making sure I'm good mentally and physically. And so it's a learning process for me. And if you are one of those people that is always like go, 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 wearing so many hats and just it's like nonstop, somebody has to make you sit down, then you understand how we have to be willing to say yes to ourselves and listen to our bodies. And so that's what I'm learning to do, and I'm really enjoying that process. So you'll hear more about this whole learning to say yes to me as well. But as far as I always say learning and then it turns into loving. Do y'all catch that? It always turns into, oh, I'm loving this journey. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving that. But what I am really loving today is there's so many different things, y'all. There's so many different things that I'm absolutely, absolutely loving that is so hard. Like sometimes as you think about this, and maybe when you're doing your own breakfast breakdown, you're literally, like just in deep thought, like, oh my gosh, what is it that I'm loving? What is it that I'm learning today? What is it that is making me really feel empowered? And so I am loving, even though sometimes what we're loving, it can be, really big things, it can be really small, but I am loving, and I don't even know what you call this. I guess it's called like a tripod kind of deal. But today I am absolutely loving this tripod that I got on Amazon. And let me tell you why. Because I have always, just in just social media and post and blogging and everything else, I have always tried to look for tools that I feel like can really help me. And so that I don't have to, grab a kid and say, can you please take this picture or can you hold this? Can you do this? Now, although my kids are, very willing, but you know how it is. If you have children, if you ever had to pull them in, like, okay, I need you to hold this. Wait, hold it up a little bit more. Wait, do this, do that. Yeah, it's been a thing. And so I'm like, I need to have something else. And I've had other tools, but this tool here, y'all, and I don't even know, it's just a tripod. And I happen to see, you know how you see things on social media? Like you see things on TikTok and you're like, you know what? I got to have it. It was one of those. I have to have it. And so guess what? Amazon had it and I purchased it. Well, I'm loving this tripod because not only is it, it does what it needs to do. It's very convenient. So I think one of my kids called it like a selfie stick, but it's not a selfie stick. If it is, it's a selfie stick with a tripod and it's doing what it needs to do. And I'm loving it. So today I am loving this tripod selfie stick kind of deal because it's helping me really with my content and doing what I need to do. But let me say this, and this is kind of a sidebar, because at the end of the day, I feel like we make so many different excuses in our lives as to why we can't do something. So, oh, I don't have the tools, I don't have the resources. Well, guess what? If you're not willing to go out and find the resources, if you're not willing to go out and get the tools, that you need, then of course you're going to be in that place. You're going to always talk about, I should have, would have, could have, or I need, so you're always going to be in that mindset. And so this is one of the tools that I knew that I needed, and I was willing to make the investment, even though literally it was only like $30 or something like that. But it was still an investment, something that I knew that I needed. And it was going to help me really, with my content, with my businesses. So that is what I'm loving today. What I'm feeling empowered about today is, so I don't think I've ever talked about the Mom Boss Talk radio show on this pod. And so I am in, I love being able to empower others. And so whatever that looks like, if that looks like being on other people's shows and, being interviewed on other people's shows, then guess what? I'm your girl. I'm going to do that. If it looks like, being on radio shows, whatever it may be, if it looks like having other shows where I'm able to empower a specific, group of people, then guess what? I am your girl. I'm going to do that. Because when you're walking into your purpose, when you recognize your purpose, when you are able to unleash your greatness, I'm telling you, doors will open for you. But what I'm saying is, I am feeling empowered by the Mom Boss Talk show. And it's because of the fact that it's a group of women. Now, I have always felt empowered. So let me be clear about that. We have some different guest hosts now, but I have always felt empowered. No matter who is on the show, I have always felt empowered because it does something to you when you know that what you're sharing is going to help somebody else. It does something. Like it literally makes you feel so empowered to share, share, share. I feel like, it's that thing that says, we know knowledge is power, but guess what? If you're not willing to do something with the knowledge, it's not power. And so I really feel like that even applies to what we know and being able to not only take action and apply it to our lives, but also being able to share it with other people. So I am feeling very empowered about helping, of course, empowering people through the show, the Empower. I was going to say the Empower Hour of Jaresha show. Of course, I feel empowered about that show, but I'm specifically talking about the Mom Boss Talk radio show and having just some amazing women, Stephanie Allen as well as Megan Fortner. They are two amazing powerhouses that are really just inspiring me. So that is the morning breakfast breakdown. And hopefully, as you listen to this each and every day, you'll start thinking of your own breakfast breakdown. Like, what is my breakfast breakdown? What am I loving? What am I learning? What is making me feel empowered? And so, as we jump into what I'm really want to bring forth to you today, and it's kind of all on the same line. So, it really can be a continuation of the breakfast breakdown, but it's all about understanding your intentions and knowing that, with each and every morning that we get up, it's something because I feel very strongly about mornings. And if you can't tell by the mornings with Jaresha and some of the things that we talk about on the show, I feel very strongly about mornings and what we should be doing in the morning. And so this hasn't always been my story. This has not always been my story. This is something that over the years, I have grown to really love mornings, to really embrace mornings, because we know that how just how the morning goes is going to really set and determine the rest of our day. And so when you recognize that, I feel like you act differently, like you do things different in the morning. And so it's no longer, it becomes, I'm going to be more intentional about my morning. I'm going to be more intentional about my morning and about my day, so that as, time goes by, and I just talked about on the previous show on how many days we have left of this year. Well, think about it, like how many mornings? It's the same amount of mornings, right? So we've had, X amount of mornings, and what have you done in those mornings? Do you feel like your mornings are really setting the tone for the rest of your day? Because It truly does. And you can probably even look back to yesterday morning and say, you know what? My morning was amazing. And let me just tell you what I did yesterday morning. So, besides recording this show, I actually got up, I exercised, I hydrated, I read, I did my prayer and my devotion, I did my meditation. I did all of that. And guess what? I did all of that before 8 o'clock. And it's like, what? You did all that before 8 o'clock. So can I tell you that just it literally just helped me, just really have the rest of my day be productive. It really did. And so not saying you got to get up and do all of these things, but you have to get up and do something because at the end of the day, if you are just waking up and rolling out of bed, and some of us are barely doing that. We're barely rolling out of bed in the morning and we're dragging to, have breakfast. And maybe some of us are not even having breakfast, but we're dragging ourselves to the shower. We're dragging ourselves to our cars. We're dragging ourselves to our computers. And then we wonder why, we're feeling the way that we're feeling and we're feeling stuck and we're not moving and progressing with our goals, with our dreams, with walking into our purpose. Well, look at how your mornings are going. Look at your intention for that day. And so as we look at the intentions, one of the things that I didn't do, a couple of things that I did not do yesterday that I normally do every single day is affirmations and visualization. So I'm very, very, when it comes down to affirmations and visualizations, I think they're very, very important, very, very important and very, very powerful for really manifesting and really walking into that thing, walking into our goals and the success that we want, that we deserve, that we desire. And we often, and I've talked about this on previous shows, but we often, just kind of downplay those affirmations. We downplay our narrative, and especially if it's the negative narrative, because we don't even realize how we have negative self talk throughout the day. So we don't even realize, like, we're so concerned about other people, you know, and their thoughts and what they're saying to us and their negativity, that we haven't even stopped to realize how negative we are to ourselves, how our own narrative is what's really keeping us stuck versus someone else telling you that you can't do it, or they're doubting you or whatever it may be. But guess what? When you're doubting yourself, it's like at some point, when are you going to say, what am I doing? Why am I not speaking positive things into my life? Why am I not understanding the power of those positive affirmations, especially in the morning? Because the morning is going to set the tone for your day. So let's try to really be intentional about our mornings. How can you be more intentional about your morning? And I believe you can start by pulling out that notebook and writing down, what are you doing? Like, what is your day-to-day look like? What does your mornings look like now? I mean, be clear with yourself. Write it down. I'm waking up at 8 o'clock. I'm waking up at 6 o'clock. And, then what are you doing? Write down what your mornings look like. And then as you see and capture it on paper, begin to break it down and say, you know what? I see why. I see, how I am wasting so much time because I'm spending 35 minutes, I'm spending an hour scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through Instagram or TikTok. And that's an hour that I can be doing something productive that's helping me grow. That's an hour that, maybe you can be reading and, part of the hour you could be exercising for 30 minutes. It's beginning to look at how you can be intentional with your morning and then also with your day, so that we can really feel more productive, so that we can feel like we are, we are really walking into that greatness. We are really having the success that we want, desire, and deserve. And we are really progressing, because ultimately that's what it's about to me. And hopefully that's what it's about to you as well. I feel like we listen to countless podcasts, we listen to countless YouTube videos, and it's like, oh, I know. Okay, if you know, your your life should reflect it. If your life is not reflecting the things that you say you know, then you need to check yourself. If you know it, why aren't you doing it? That is the question. That is the question. If you know it, why aren't you doing it? Your life should reflect the things that you say that you know. Your life should reflect it. So let's really spend more time being intentional. Let's look at those affirmations that we can, be, really we can utilize to reprogram our subconscious mind so that we can think positively, so we can aspire higher, and so we can manifest our, so we can manifest our deepest desires. We need to really get that thing down, what I'm saying? So I mentioned visualization as well. And so with visualization, the thing that we need to understand and know, with visualization, the thing that we need to understand and know is that we have to be able to have that clear picture. So we have to be able to have that clear mental picture of what we're wanting to, what we're wanting to manifest, the things that we're wanting with our goals, with our dreams, with walking into our purpose. We have to have a clear picture of what you want. That is the key to really manifesting your intentions. That's the key to, to really walking into your greatness, is not just saying that this is what I want, but have you begin to visualize that thing? And so typically I will do visualization as well as affirmations. And that's two things that I did not do yesterday, but it is a part of my morning routine that I'm doing every single day as well, because it's important to visualize. It is so important to, it's like when you start your day by picturing your dream life or your goals, what is it? Your subconscious mind begins to work on creating those paths to manifest the vision into reality. And so the last thing that I'll mention is the mindfulness and the gratitude, because I think it's extremely important as we are being intentional each and every day that we have to be present, right? So we have to be present. And, when we're mindful, we tune into our thoughts, we tune into our emotions and our physical state. And that helps us align better with our intentions. And so on this journey of, really being more intentional and, getting off that struggle bus, as I continue to talk about, each and every episode, we have to be willing to do something different. So I really feel like we should be affirming, we should really appreciate the power that we have, to really shape our days and shape our lives. And so each morning is an opportunity for you to reboot, for you to rewire, for you to, rewrite and realign your thoughts and intentions positively. And we should never underestimate that. So as we wake up each and every day, we should be affirming. We should, let us affirm positively. Let us visualize explicitly. And let us really be mindful and grateful. Can we be mindful and grateful and really embrace this process of being intentional? And as we go through this process, let's be patient and have patience and, show perseverance and understand that this journey it is what it is. This, life is lifing, right? Life is going to continue to just life. But the thing about it is what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Like what action are you going to take each and every day? What intentions are you making for today? You see, what you seek is going to seek you. And so the mornings are ours to own. It's ours to take charge of, to set intentions, and to really manifest those desires and embrace the journey. So I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready to truly manifest that morning. I hope you're ready to understand your intentions. I hope you are ready to execute on your goals, your dreams, and walking into your purpose. Let's get it. Let's go.
Thank you for listening to the Mornings with Jaresha show. Follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube at Jaresha Moore. Email Jaresha at empoweronpurpose.com and text 937-938-6373. And have a great day on purpose.